What's up, board game people? The day is finally here and Kingdoms Forlorn is finally launched. I've taken a bit more time on this video researching and attempting to bring you a clearer picture than even some of the big content creators who have copies of the preview in their possession have bothered to compile. I think quite a few videos have been rushed, leading to confusion and bad impressions being relayed. This is a complex game that isn't for everyone. The creators know that going into it. This game is for a niche of a niche. It's crunchy, it's complicated, and overall, it's still in a prototype phase. I'm going to try and explain what Kingdoms Forlorn is and help you understand some of the high-level systems it introduces and relies on so you can make an informed decision on whether to back or not. Some of what I am presenting may be wrong. I do not have a copy of the preview, and I'm relying on what developers said and largely on what I've been able to gather from the few good videos produced using the preview copies. So pardon any mistakes, and please realize that any opinions expressed are my own. We may not agree, and that is okay. I hope, if nothing else, to start a conversation about what you think has been done wrong and right with Into the Unknown's latest epic board game. At dawn, God created the world, and it was good. At dusk, he created man with an immortal soul, but weak to temptation. At night, darkness brought out the devils. Welcome to Kingdoms Forlorn, where you will play your part as a knight in a tale of sin, its consequences, and its absolute effect on the world. Man was flourishing, progress was rife, but greed and debauchery would soon rear its ugly head. When the sins of man became too great for the lands to bear, curses were placed upon the great kingdoms, and slowly a fog hid these sinful kingdoms from the view of ordinary men, removed them from the world. Man was humbled for a time, but the cursed kingdoms returned, and with them the effects of their vile curses. These curses have begun to spread, threatening to overtake the world. In Kingdoms Forlorn, you will play a knight with your own personality, your own motivation, your own story. You must stand up to the darkness, venture into the unknown of the fog's veil, and face the terrors of the fallen kings, the dragons, the devils, and carve your own legend. So really, what is Kingdoms Forlorn? Buried somewhere beneath what seems like a mountain of borderline corporate buzzword BS, there seems to be the making of an incredibly complex, diverse, and flexible game system that is seeking to tell an epic tale. So let's get into it one step at a time. First off, the game is a solo operative game, a term they felt it necessary to trademark. Yeah, what you can't see is me rolling my eyes. All this means is the game is both a solo game and a co-op game. So why the buzzword? They're trying to solve an age-old problem here. What do you do when someone wants to play alone? When someone in your gaming group can't make gaming night? When you want to travel to a convention and continue your own story without having to rehash everything you've already been through before? They're trying to perfect drop-in and drop-out play, where you can take your character who is at any specific point in their personal story or progression track, and hop into a game with new characters, characters your own level, or even characters more progressed than yours, and play. The game takes care of the difficulty balancing for you. Can they do it? Can they crack that elusive code? Who knows? But I hope so. The game can be played with 1 to 4 players. It's described best as a shared world experience. It takes place in a twisted fantasy setting, seeks to tell deeply personal stories while advancing through the tale of these cursed kingdoms. They are attempting to develop a world where you can both stick to the script and play through a 100-hour-plus epic campaign, while also offering you the freedom to wander off the script and partake in roguelike delves to secure the final piece of loot your character needs before advancing. Choices made throughout the game are unique to the player and to the character. You decide how your character will progress, quests and character stories will cross over, interconnect, and influence each other to create a different experience each time you play. The game, on a very basic level, is split into 2 distinct phases, the delve phase and the clash phase. Kingdom maps are procedurally generated during the delve phase based off the paths you take and the choices each player makes. Each time you play, the maps will be different and your motivations for visiting the kingdoms will likely have changed. Some kingdoms even have mechanics that will alter their layout on the fly, so as you pass through a gate, the path behind you changes. 4 different sized district cards are used to generate the map. These are shuffled and placed as the players explore based off the decisions they make. Your knights enter a kingdom with different objectives. You are searching for something or someone, and as you move about the kingdom through the different gates, you'll collect clues. As you amass clues, you'll trigger events to drive the story forward, or perhaps send you into the clash phase for a battle. As each new map card is placed, your overall threat level is rising as well. When that threat level is too high, one of the 2 main clashes for your session are sure to occur. There is a bit of a risk versus reward element to take into consideration when exploring and trying to complete individual goals. While the delve phase may seem complicated, it appears to actually be quite streamlined, moves quickly, and becomes intuitive once you grow accustomed to it. The second phase is the clash phase. Clash is the combat phase, where your knights are transported to the battle board to dispatch their attackers, monsters, or even their main quarry. Here they throw another mouthful of corporate buzzwords our way. Inverted combat paradigm, which boils down to escalating combat where the battle becomes more heated and desperate the longer it rages on. The closer you or your enemy are to death, the more powerful you or they become. Each knight card has peril and heroic arc tracks that provide cumulative effects or benefits depending on your condition and how the battle is unfolding. There's always a chance at a comeback or terrible defeat. Combat is reactive. A hit will trigger a body part card that will determine the result, that may be hacking an arm off or returning the damage to you tenfold. The meat of the game lies in this phase. There are specific steps each player will work through on their turn, which will help keep the crunchiness under control, but it's likely where the game will get a bit heavy. If you're a fan of the freedom that something like a pen and paper RPG offers you with their combat, you'll feel right at home here. This is a bit more of a closed system, but it seems it will take some learning and maybe even a bit of flipping back and forth through the rulebook to get through the first few fights. The campaign launched at 12 p.m. Central Time on the 15th and funded in minutes. The campaign page is full of well laid out information, and the pledges are relatively easy to understand in their current iterations. But we'll take a few quick moments to run through it all before getting into the nitty-gritty details and opinions. First to the pledge levels. There are currently 2. The first level, the core game pledge, comes in at about $158 and includes the core game box and all applicable unlocked stretch goals. The second and only other pledge option at this time is the Elite Core Game Pledge. That includes the core game box and the 10,000 Succulent Fears Deluxe expansion and all applicable unlocked stretch goals. That's it. They do state that in the future they'll add new pledge levels. For Day 1 backers, there are 2 rewards you will receive. First, you'll get Little Sir's Little Mini. Little Sir is the intrepid scout monkey of Sir Sonk. He can sniff out weak points, distract enemies, and be an all-around nuisance. Next, backing in the first 24 hours will get you the Commonwealth Princess Mini in battle gear. When the princess is on the battle board, she'll grant you attack bonuses, immunity to fear, and can even perform a special co-op attack with her patron. So what's in the box? In the core you will receive 4 knight miniatures, Kara, Sir Sonk, Renholder, and Flishritter. 10 Iron Cast Dead full-color acrylic standees on 25mm bases, 1 Egg Knight miniature, 1 Puppet King Edelhart, 1 Devil of the Smelted Fears, and 1 Panzer Dragon Velder miniature. 4 Knight sheets, 5 enemy sheets, 200 plus battle cards, 300 plus night cards, 50 plus map cards, 120 plus other cards, 20 dice, 100 plus tokens, 30 plus tiles, a battle board, 1 kingdom and 4 knight tracks, a rule book and a learn to play guide, a kingdom book with over 100 pages, 4 knight books containing 10 chapter branching campaigns for each character. The Principality of Stone 10,000 Succulent Fears Deluxe expansion contains 10 Iron Cast Dead mob miniatures, 10 Panzergeist mob miniatures, and 10 Panzergeist mob acrylic standees, 1 Stone-Faced Knight miniature, 1 Knight Eater, 1 Stonemason Knight, and 1 Young Devour Dragon miniature. 4 enemy sheets, 160 plus battle cards, 100 plus knight and loot cards, 30 plus map cards, 70 plus other cards, new tokens, tiles, and battle board layout, a 10,000 Succulent Fears book, and 1 knight book. They are also offering a number of add-ons, including a dice set, a battle mat, core game card protectors, and card protectors for the first expansion, and an art book. The campaign is also offering funding stretch goals, some of which have already been unlocked, and daily stretch goals that will begin unlocking soon, the first of which has been hinted at being plastic. More minis, yes please. More on stretch goals in future update videos. I'm hoping to put out a few videos during the campaign. Let's talk about shipping and delivery dates. They've posted reasonable estimates for what the core game will cost to ship to various locations. The prices aren't bad, but these are just estimates and will go up depending on what you pledge for. The project is EU, US, Canada, and Australia shipping friendly, meaning no import taxes in those areas. The big one for many of you, VAT and sales tax are included in the prices. As for delivery, they're aiming for a reasonable goal of shipping the core sometime around November 2023, with any expansions that are unlocked shipping around 2024 in waves. They're giving themselves plenty of time, and I commend them for their honesty and being conservative. So opinions. Everyone has them, and these are mine. This game lands squarely in the realm of games that I love to play. The game is crunchy enough to border on stepping across the line from adventure board game into tabletop RPG territory. The combat is strategically hard and even borderline unforgiving. I'm okay with that. The campaign is well laid out and there's so much lore and so many apt descriptions of the various mechanics and systems that they will employ that I don't have time to read them all to you, nor would I want to bore you with it all. Suffice it to say, if you're here for the lore, soak it all up. There's plenty of dark and twisted fantasy on tap and more to come. Sadly, there is just as big of a pile of buzzwords littering the page. I don't know about you, but it all makes me feel a little dirty to see so many in such a small place. I get it. They can be used to effectively communicate what to expect from a game, but they're also promises that the developers need to strive to deliver. Solo operative, tabletop shared worlds, drop in, drop out, dynamic difficulty, smart director, dungeon delver, meaningful choices, lasting consequences, inverted combat paradigm, hard co-op, endless post-game, true solo mode, and the list goes on. I think I need a shower. Maybe cut back on the buzzwords next time, or at least don't post them all in one section of the campaign page. Some of these really do excite me though. Others flat out terrify me. Hard co-op. This excites me to the core. My favorite rule from Kingdom Death is if there's a question about the rules, whatever's worst for the survivors should be the answer. That game is punishing and it advertises it. Seeing this called out so blatantly, stating that you must work together effectively to survive, and promising that your cooperation will be rewarded by allowing you to pull off powerful combos, sounds oh so great. On the other hand, the very next buzzword scares the bejesus out of me. Endless post-game. Many times I feel this is used as a warning from the devs that they have some monotonous task that you can do on repeat if you just can't get enough of the game. These features are often an afterthought, pointless, and mind-numbing. Here though, I'm hopeful it's a promise. They can work meaningful post-game progression in somehow, or perhaps, dare I say, meaningful in-game content that will help bridge the campaign's gap until the next expansions arrive. Now that would be something epic. One section that excites me to see on any campaign page is reactions to criticism. They have one section highlighting feedback they've received on the preview copy and what kind of changes they're making to improve the prototype already. I love this and I'd love to see this more in the future. So what else can we expect to see during the campaign? I expect to see more premium game components available in the add-on section. More and more minis. They've stated in an update that we should expect to see a miniature parody with almost all of the standees. New kingdoms, one's already being set up for release soon. The kingdoms presented in lore so far are the already unlocked Principality of Stone, the Sunken Kingdom drowned in mud and depravity, the Barony of Bountiful Harvest overgrown with the Curse of Bloom, the Red Kingdom drenched in blood. I'm also hoping to see a possible endgame for whatever's driving the curses and the fog. We'll likely see some more side quests, a better fleshed out outposts phase, and more things than I can even imagine. A tabletop simulator demo has been released along with the rulebook you'll need for that demo. If you're on the fence about the complexity of the game, I'd highly encourage you check it out for yourself. I'm constantly researching and trying to find out more information and answers to the hundreds of questions that I have about the game. If you have a question you'd like to hear an answer for, let me know in the comments and I'll reach out and see if I can get you an answer. What's your favorite mini in the campaign so far? What kingdoms are you most excited about? Did I miss something major? Let me know in the comments. The first update video is coming very soon, covering stretch goals, daily unlocks, and any new information I can pass along. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make these videos. The responses I've been getting are amazing, and they have me pumped to make even more and different content. So thank you. And if you like this type of content and would like to see more, subscribe and hit that like button. It helps channels like this grow and it motivates me to keep making videos. I will say once more, anything and everything in this video is subject to change. I do not have a preview copy of the game or the rulebook. I'm presenting information I found either from ITU or from other content creators. I apologize for any incorrect information. I'll try to correct it, and any mistakes in update videos. Remember to always back responsibly. Stick to your budget, and if you question a project, ask questions of it. Thanks again for watching, and remember to play something fun tonight.